Before anger ruins a relationship, a career, or a moment you can never take back, there is always a quiet warning sign. Most people miss it, and that is why anger doesn't feel dangerous until after the damage is done. In today's video, we are not just talking about how to calm down when you are angry. We are talking about the hidden mistakes people make when dealing with anger, and how to regain control before anger controls your life. Anger itself is not the enemy. Anger is a natural human response. It shows up when something feels unfair, threatening, or deeply uncomfortable. The real problem begins when anger becomes automatic, when it reacts faster than your awareness, when it speaks before wisdom has time to arrive. Many people believe anger comes from other people or situations, but in reality, anger begins long before the reaction. It begins in the way we interpret what is happening. One of the biggest mistakes people make is believing that anger is something that suddenly explodes. In truth, anger builds quietly. It starts as tension in the body, a story in the mind, and a subtle shift in breathing. If you miss this early stage, anger feels uncontrollable later. That is why self-control does not start at the moment you shout or react. It starts at the moment you notice your internal state changing. Awareness is the foundation of emotional mastery. The moment you feel triggered, the most powerful question you can ask yourself is not, "Why is this happening to me?" but "What is happening inside me right now?" This question shifts your attention away from blame and toward understanding. When you pause and observe your thoughts, you often realize that anger is not caused by the present moment alone. It is amplified by expectations, memories, and unhealed frustrations. Another common mistake is trying to suppress anger instead of regulating it. Suppression does not create peace. It creates pressure. When anger is pushed down without awareness, it leaks out later as passive aggression, resentment, or sudden emotional outbursts. Regulation, on the other hand, means allowing anger to be present without allowing it to take control. This is where the body becomes your greatest ally. The body reacts to anger before the mind fully understands it. Your breathing becomes shallow and fast. Your muscles tighten. Your heart rate increases. These physical signals are not random. They are messages. They tell you that your nervous system has shifted into a reactive state. If you try to think your way out of anger without calming the body first, it rarely works. Slowing your breathing is not a relaxation trick. It is a biological reset. When you intentionally take slow, deep breaths, you are sending a clear signal to your nervous system that there is no immediate danger. This signal allows your mind to regain clarity. Even 2 or 3 slow breaths can interrupt the momentum of anger and create space between feeling and reaction. Once the body begins to settle, a deeper level of understanding becomes possible. This is where reflection replaces reaction. Instead of asking who is wrong, you ask what belief was challenged. Instead of asking how to defend yourself, you ask what emotion is underneath this anger. Often, anger is not the primary emotion. It is a protective response covering fear, disappointment, or hurt. At this stage, you regain your power of choice. Anger creates the illusion that you must react immediately. Wisdom reminds you that you always have options. You can react with words that escalate conflict, or you can respond with clarity and restraint. The difference between reaction and response is the difference between regret and growth. Many people fear that patience means weakness. In reality, patience requires immense strength. It takes strength to pause when your emotions demand action. It takes strength to choose compassion when ego wants control. And it takes strength to forgive when anger promises temporary relief but delivers long-term pain. No lasting problem has ever been solved through uncontrolled anger. Anger may feel powerful in the moment, but it narrows perception and weakens judgment. Compassion, patience, and understanding expand perspective. They allow you to see consequences beyond the present emotion. This is why wise traditions across cultures teach reflection before action. Before speaking or acting, ask yourself whether your response will bring peace or prolong conflict. Ask whether it will protect your future or satisfy a temporary impulse. When you reflect in this way, anger loses its authority over you. It becomes information rather than a command. It is important to remember that feeling anger does not make you a bad person. Allowing anger to dictate your actions is what creates suffering. You are not responsible for every emotion that arises, but you are responsible for how you respond to them. Emotional maturity is not about never feeling anger. It is about never abandoning awareness. When practiced consistently, these small moments of awareness reshape your entire life. Relationships become calmer, decisions become wiser, regret becomes rare. Peace is no longer something you chase after conflict. It becomes your default state. Anger will still arise. That's part of being human. But with patience, awareness, and compassion, anger no longer controls you. You control how it moves through you. And that is where true inner freedom begins.